This past Tuesday was primary election day here in Pennsylvania, and our campaign team and volunteers were at polling places across the district to see if voters were open to supporting an independent third option on their ballot come this November. And our message resonated with many voters who weren't satisfied with the single choice they had in their primary. Scott Bryan ran unopposed on the Democratic side, and Tom Marino ran unopposed for Congress on the Republican side. Even worse than the fact that this year's primaries were not competitive is the fact that, like every year, independents were not allowed to vote. Pennsylvania's primary election system is undemocratic, and it's also one of the main drivers of political polarization and partisanship. On one hand, our closed primary system prohibits citizens unaffiliated with a major party from running in or even voting in any major party's primary election. That means on Tuesday, more than 45,000 voters in the 10th district alone were effectively disenfranchised, even though these taxpayers must still foot the bill for the cost of the election. Many more voters have been coerced into joining a political party just so that they can vote. On the other hand, because only the active voters in the base of either major political party are the ones who can and choose to vote in the primary elections, candidates running through the primaries have to run very far to the left in the Democratic primary or very far to the right in the Republican primary just to get to the general election. And by that time, our choices are polarized, leaving the vast majority of us who are not on the political extremes no candidate at all in the election. Pennsylvania needs to reform its primary process to open it up to all candidates and all voters. The sole purpose of a primary should be to narrow the field of all candidates down to 2 for the general election, and everyone should be able to participate in this process. A top 2 primary can accomplish this by letting any qualified candidate run and any qualified voter cast a ballot in a single integrated primary, where the top 2 vote getters, regardless of their party affiliation, move on to the general election. California and Washington are among the states that have already adopted a top 2 system. A top 2 primary will not be a silver bullet to fix our political process overnight, but it can create a more fair, competitive, and representative electoral system, and that's a good place to start. Well, that's all for me for this week. I hope to see you again next week and welcome your thoughts, questions, and feedback in the comments section below.